Welcome to episode 24 of Johan Explains. I got a request for this one from a YouTube follower called Mick. And once I checked it out, I could not resist the challenge. This is the Dervish riff from the album Live Herald by Steve Hillage. I've just recovered from my second battle with the COVID virus. I got it pretty early on during the pandemic, and then I'm vaccinated 3-4 times, and now I got it again. But now at least I'm well enough to make a video. The Dervish riff is one of those riffs that you just get lost in trying to make sense of. And because I couldn't make sense of it, I just needed to get to the bottom of it and understand it. And in this video, I'll show you how this riff works, how to understand it, and how to play it. Of course, I had to look that word up, Dervish. It means a member of a Muslim religious order who has taken vows of poverty and austerity. They were known for the wild, ecstatic rituals. So that's that. The funny thing is that this track does not appear on any studio album that I know of, and it appears on Live Herald, released in 2007. And this is 30 years after we listened to Gong and Hillage in our youth. But I believe it's a great riff, and it could easily have been among those tracks that we listened to 30 years back. It has that mesmerizing, magical vibe to it. It just sucks you in. And it also has that typical Gong Hillage, interesting atmospheric soundscape surrounding the riff, making it come alive. When I started working on this riff, I aligned the sound file to a grid in my digital audio workstation, Reaper. But when I finally thought I got it, I was surprised to learn that a little later on in the track, the basic pattern had changed. Now, it was a 16-note longer. However, it turns out that the basic pattern does stay the same. What happens is that as more instruments enter the composition, the tempo of the track goes down. Hence, it takes longer time and it couldn't align to my grid. And my guess is that this is involuntary. And it happens because it's a hard riff. It is hard to play. And the musicians, they're struggling to lock on to each other. That's my guess. That's what I think. And on that point, I did some research and I found a bunch of amateur video shots from Hillage concerts when they play this track, the Dervish riff. And it's obvious that they do have some problems locking in this riff. It's complicated and it's hard to play totally synchronous. So let's do what we do in these episodes. We do my playthrough and I explain everything after that. Here we go. So there you have it, my little playthrough of the Dervish riff. And what is really going on here? I'm gonna take you into Reaper and explain to you the best that I can how I see this riff and how it works. And straight off the bat, the same way as I said about the glorious riff, the basic riff is not 4/4, it's 6/8. Yeah, but if you count 6/8, the same reasoning as for the Hillage, the glorious riff, goes for this one. If you count 6/8 4 times, well, you're gonna get the one right, but it doesn't feel right in the middle, and it doesn't reflect what they are playing. And granted, there is a bunch of ways to subdivide this, to make sense of it. And what I do in this video and how I see it, it's not the way. It's not the correct way. It's just, this is the way I subdivide it to make sense of it. So you can do it this way and understand it and play it and it will be correct. But the composers, they might have other intentions with it and thought about it in different ways. And that's just the beauty of it. Before we go into Reaper, I want to explain how I subdivide this pattern, how I look at it. The pattern is 24/8 long. So that is kind of 4 bars of 6/8, because 4 times 6 is 24. So the pattern is 24/8 long. So what I did to make sense of it is subdivide it in the following way. The first bar is 7/8. The next bar is 6/8. The next bar is 6/8. And the last one is 5/8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That makes 24. And when you do it this way, for me, it locks onto the riff, what they are doing. So here we are in Reaper, and I'm going to play you the start of this pattern with a metronome, which is programmed to reflect that first bar of 7, and then 2, 6, and then a 5. And I'm going to mouth it for you and see if you can feel it and feel the riff that way. So here we go. Like that. And it does a lot more sense when you do it that way. At least it is for me. Now what makes this pattern even more complicated than the subdivision into 7, 6, 6 and a 5 is that there are some heavily syncopated notes in there, and one in particular that I'm going to show you later on. So what I do when I track the drums are pretty boring, and that's because I wanted to keep the pattern and show you how I think about this riff. So I play that 7 and 6 and 6 and 5. That's what I do. But to get it to work, I play 2 kick drums that falls between 8 notes. They fall on 16 notes. So when I play the 6/8, which is 2 of them, I play don't gong, which is in between 8 notes. And then there is also that syncopated note. I highlight that, I accent that with a snare drum. So my pattern sounds like this with a metronome. Like that. So there you have it, the Dervish riff by Steve Hillage. Hope you learned something and that you had some fun. If you like my content, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. Thanks for watching.